Good evening and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admission Officers, or CACRAO, and StriveScan. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can utilize the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the presenters so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening through this CACRAO StriveScan partnership, so we encourage you to check the full list of opportunities on CACRAO's website at cacrao.org. Lastly, a recording will be made available following the conclusion of this session on CACRAO's website. Once again, cacrao.org. Now, without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to our panelists so they can begin their session.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. My name is Frankie Miller. I work in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. We're very excited that you're here with us this evening to learn more about NC State, but also an overview of our admissions process. So we'll give a presentation, and then after that, we'll open it up for some Q&A. We probably won't get to all of your questions, but I am joined by my colleagues, Justin and Ton, who will be answering some of those questions during the session and also helping me after. So before we get started, I would love to have them introduce themselves. Ton, if you want to go ahead.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Tan Tante. I am an admissions counselor here at NC State. I also graduated from NC State in May 2019 with a Bachelor of Arts in International Studies and a minor in Chinese.
And hey, everyone. So my name is Justin Richardson. I'm Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admissions. So glad you could join us this afternoon, talk to us. Like Ton and Frankie, like I'm sure she'll mention earlier, I am a graduate of NC State. Also, I finished my degree here in 2015 and got my degree in communications. So like Frankie had some Wi-Fi issues for a brief second. She just froze. So if you don't mind, bear with us really quickly. I can give you a quick overview of how things are going to go though for this afternoon. So while Frankie is going through a presentation, she's going to do a quick overview talking about NC State, the admissions process, and anything around that. During the time of the presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A feature. So the Q&A feature can be found on your screen. A Q&A feature can be found on your screen toward the bottom left-hand side. And if you have any questions, feel free to put it right in there, and we'll be more than happy to help you and assist you with that full process. Really quickly, I'm gonna go ahead and pull my screen up. It's like Frankie is having some technical difficulties, so give me 1 second, and we can go ahead and get started with everything. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the Q&A box, and we'll do everything we can to assist you on the way and help you within that. And then Tom, really quickly, can you tell me is my screen sharing working just fine?
Yes, it is.
Perfect. All right, cool. So let's talk a little bit about NC State. So the first thing, of course, is our location. So we're located, roughly speaking, about 2 miles from the downtown area. Raleigh, North Carolina is considered a top 5 area for businesses and careers. And in fact, how this kind of pertains to your undergraduate degree is that while you're being a student here on campus, you can experience more of the career side of things. So finding internships, co-ops, and even interacting with our college's career fairs to help you find the perfect fit job for yourself. Nothing is better when you think about it is going through attaining your bachelor's degree and go ahead and show companies on your resume you have that work experience as well to show you what you're really looking for and what's the best fit for you as far as career path. And for myself, I found my job in admissions while doing an internship. As far as NC State, some things we are known for. So we are the largest school in North Carolina, roughly speaking, about 34,000 to 35,000 students in total. Of that number, about 24,000 are undergraduate students from over 120 different countries. So students all around the world are located right here within this one location. We are considered a STEM school, so we focus a lot in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And we are considered a Research 1 institution as well. As far as cost-wise, we're ranked top 10 best value in the nation overall and #1 return on investment amongst public universities in North Carolina, which just means we understand going to college can be a little expensive, and the best way to sum it up is coming here is a good bang for your buck and investment into your education as well. Most students coming into the university will be on main campus, and main campus is home to most of our academic majors, as well as our residence halls and dining halls. Most of the time coming into the campus, most of your time will be here on main campus. One building we would love to highlight is our Tally Student Union. So this is kind of our one-stop shop for a lot of our places here on campus. So if you ever get a chance to come on the campus and explore, on our bottom, you'll see 2 of our food courts, Port City Java, Starbucks, and our Wolfpack Outfitters, which is our bookstore that sells everything from t-shirts to MacBooks to textbooks to cap and gowns. So it's kind of like our own little Walmart all right there, where if you need some supplies on campus, it's a great place to visit. On our upper floors, you'll find more of our student resource offices, such as Multicultural Student Affairs, the GLBT Center, Greek Life, Leadership and Civil Engagement, Student Involvement, and the Women's Center. So it just means with all this going around inside this one center, you can see everything from students hanging out with their friends and grabbing a bite to eat, to students promoting their different student organizations or getting help with different resources on campus. And they kind of go into our school size and show you being on a campus, all the possibilities you can do. If you happen to be a junior, you happen to be interested in engineering and textiles, you'll end up on our Centennial Campus your junior and senior year. Our Centennial Campus is home to our engineering and textiles majors, as well as over 100 local businesses and government agencies. So going back to that idea again about top 5 in business and careers, you can potentially get an internship or co-op right outside of your academic classroom door. Some other features on this campus: the body of water you see is parts of Lake Raleigh. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see part of our Learning Pool golf course, which is a full 18-hole golf course. One last building we'll love to highlight on this campus is that one in the middle that kind of looks like a spaceship. That's our Hunt Library. It takes a new approach to a normal library setup. So if you ever walk into Hunt, you'll notice a lot of colorful walls, group study areas, a gaming lounge, sound production studios, and really the thought process is to encourage engagement in some shape or form, whether it's you working on a project with your hands or working with your peers. If you're inside of Hunt and you're looking for a textbook, all you need is your laptop, your cell phone, or get a worker there to ask the book you're looking for. And that information is fed to our book bot that will go and locate the textbook for you instead. Our book bot can hold up to 2 million textbooks. As of right now, we have 1.8 million books inside of it. So it's no more using a Dewey Decimal System or guessing where a book may be at. The robot will handle all of that for you. It stores everything in a safe, comment-controlled cubby to preserve the life of the books as well. So super great feature, kind of shows a little bit more of our innovation here on campus and how we're trying to continue progressing forward. Now, I did mention how we had main campus and a Centennial campus. I do want to let you know that our campuses are less than a mile apart from each other. They're super easy to access and get back and forth if you need to. To help students get back and forth between both campuses, we do have our own bus system called the Wolfline buses. A couple years ago, a student on campus created an app called Translot to serve as a way to help students navigate our bus system and navigate back around our campuses. So within the Translot app, you can download it on your phone or your computer. It will serve as a GPS tracking system for all of our bus routes here on campus. So as you can kind of see from this picture, every route is color coordinated. Every circle indicates the bus stops it will be making, and it can show you the estimated time of arrival near you. So it makes it really easy getting back and forth between campuses if you need to, but most of the time your academic classrooms, classes and majors will just be all within one campus. We do have one last campus called the Centennial Biomedical Campus. This is home to our vet school, which is ranked number 4 in the nation overall, and the only one here within North Carolina. For most undergraduate students, you will also go to this campus if you go to our football games, which is played within the Carter Finley Stadium, and our men's basketball games, which is played within the PNC Arena. We also share this space within Raleigh, so the PNC Arena, where our men's basketball team plays at, the Carolina Hurricanes play there as well. And if anyone's ever been to a North Carolina State Fair, odds is you partner this campus in some shape or form. So going back to our location, how close we are to the downtown area, it even shows how, as a general whole, the university and the city of Raleigh works together to make sure it's an enjoyable experience for students on campus and residents living all within the area. Now, some people ask why choose NC State, or, you know, what makes students want to come to NC State. And in my opinion, that's one of the most important things is our top employers of NC State students. So anyone listed on this screen is considered a top employer, and anyone in the darker gray is listed at the very, very highest. So you'll see a wide, vast range of companies that reaches out to NC State students, love when students come work for them. And a lot of this comes within our career fairs. So a lot of our college and departments host their own career fairs. Hands down, our largest one is within the College of Engineering. Overall, it's the second largest in the nation and the largest on the East Coast. So it's a great opportunity for our students to come in, talk with the company one-on-one, learn more about internships, co-ops, which potentially leads to careers for them also. A lot of these career fairs come through our Career Development Center. In our Career Development Center, at any point in time, a student can go get help with their resume and mock interview practice, and they will begin to reach out and work with students. We're preparing them along with their college departments for the specific career fairs. So we understand here, while you're on campus, you're of course here to get your education. We also want to make sure you're prepared to make an impact in the job field also. So being a Research One institution, this means we offer a whole lot of undergraduate research, and we try to be progressing the first and foremost as much as we can. With doing undergraduate research, it's not required here for most of our majors, but it is recommended. So you can become more of an expert in the field that you're passionate about. Most of our professors will offer undergraduate research in some shape or form, and they do love when students get involved with undergraduate research as early as their freshman or sophomore year, so you can see the impact you're having on the research experience as well. Going off of that, we've noticed that a lot of students from doing research will start thinking their own ideas and kind of have more of an entrepreneur mindset. And so far, we have about 170 different startup and spin-off companies happening right here within the university. One really big one for me that really hit home is the one toward the bottom called Webassign. So Webassign is what students at NC State will come in and submit all their math homework assignments. So it's kind of nice to think about it full scale that a student created Webassign here on campus. And now students on campus now use that one application to submit their math homework and do math assignments, all that into one. So if you have an entrepreneur mindset, want to get involved, there's a great opportunity and place for you to do it here also. With everything going on in the world right now, we know it's a little bit different. And with our think and do mindset and still being a big focus of being a Research One institution, undergraduate research, our efforts has changed a little bit right now. So with help with the Nonwovens Institute, one really big thing we've been focused on with everything going on with COVID is creating more face masks for workers within the health field. So I mentioned earlier how we have different jobs and corporations on Centennial Campus. The Nonwovens Institute is one of them corporations. And even though we had to shut down and move to our online format back in March, this company stayed open and kept working on campus to figure out how can they help in some shape or form. So they've been partnering with our Wilson College of Textiles and creating free face masks for workers within the healthcare industry. We also had some different engineers within, some of our engineers create their own 3D face shields for workers within the healthcare field and creating their own hand sanitizer. So again, we always try to find a way we can make an impact and kind of give back to the community in any shape or form. So we have adjusted our efforts just a little bit, and it may seem small to some people. We make sure we have a way to have an impact and help people in any shape or form. As far as things we want students to get involved with on campus, one really big thing we recommend is looking at doing study abroad. Roughly speaking, we offer about 200 study abroad programs here in the university. And within these programs, you basically can go almost anywhere around the world. While doing study abroad, your tuition will stay exactly the same, so you don't have to worry about paying anything extra out of the pocket. As far as time length, most students will do a full semester, but you can do a full year or a week-long service break if you choose to. If you think study abroad is very cool, but you may be a little nervous about going to another campus or university, you can choose to go to our NC State European Center, which is our very own branch campus we have located in the Prague, Czech Republic. So you kind of get the best of both worlds while getting the same study abroad experience, but still staying on NC State's campus. And you can kind of see from this picture, it's absolutely beautiful over there. If study abroad still may not be your thing, we do want to get you involved in some shape or form with our over 700 student organizations we have here on campus. If it's anything you're involved in right now within your school or within your community, I can almost guarantee you we have it here on campus in some shape or form. As far as learning about these 700 student organizations, a lot of it takes place during Wolfpack Welcome Week. So in August, when students come back to campus, we'll have a week-long celebration welcoming in our freshman students and welcoming back our sophomores up to our seniors. During this week, we'll host a ton of different events and also allow our campus student organizations and campus departments to set up different table and events to let you know the resources we have available and how to get signed up for the resources also. To end Wolfpack Welcome Week, we'll do an event called Pack-A-Palooza, where we'll close out half of Hillsborough Street and have our own little fair celebration, ending with, of course, a concert right outside of our bell tower with Mr. Wolf in attendance. Now, that's a quick overview of campus. I do want to switch gears a little bit now to the kind of admissions review process. So when it comes to applying to NC State, the first thing I want to encourage you to do is think about what you want to major in. The reason being is that we do admit students directly into that major from the application. On the application, you'll have a first choice and second choice major option. I would encourage you to try to find 2 different majors you are potentially interested in. In the review process, we'll review a student for their first choice major as much as possible. If we can't admit them into their first choice major, we would then review them for their second choice major. So picking 2 majors on the application, college should apply to us twice within one app. As far as which majors we have to offer, we offer over 100 majors in total. The best way to sum it up right now is that we offer most majors except for nursing. If anyone wants to go to any kind of grad school program, such as med school, law school, dental school, or vet school, you can major in anything you want to and still have help getting to that 4-year grad school program you're looking to go toward. To assist students with this, we have something called pre-professional advising here on campus, where no matter what your major is, this office will tell you the exact GPA, prereq classes, work experience, and any test scores you may need for the grad school program you're looking to go toward. So for example, one of my old roommates was a biology major, then he went on to our vet school, and one of our older interns majored in environmental sciences, and now she's currently in law school. So again, you can major in anything that you're truly interested in during your undergrad 4-year degree. As far as these 10 majors you see on the screen right here, this is our top 10 most enrolled majors from students this past fall. So even though we are known as a STEM institution, you'll see majors such as psychology, political science, and even sports management that may not necessarily be a STEM-based major, but we are still very strong in, and a lot of students will still enroll into these majors also. The last major I would love to highlight on the screen is the second one you see. It's called Exploratory Studies. This is our first year undecided major. When you come in, get help with your advisor, we'll find the best fit major for yourself. It's an absolutely phenomenal program. Personally, when I came into NC State, I came into this program, and it really helped me figure out what was the best fit major for myself. I was able to switch my major from psychology to animal science to accounting to communications all during my time at NC State, and I was still able to graduate in 4 years. So we do understand for some high school students, is a lot of pressure to find a possible major or career during your time within your senior year. If you're a little unsure, a little on the fence, or just want some more time to kind of figure out what's the best fit major for yourself, choose Exploratory Studies, come into the campus, and our advisors will take care of the rest to make sure you get the best fit major for yourself. Now, once you figure out what you want to major in, the next thing, of course, is getting your application to us. It's a pretty easy process. So the first thing, of course, is submit your application to us. We're on Common App or in Coalition App. Please just pick one or the other. It's the same as that application. As far as preference, it's all user preference. The best way I like putting it is like using Firefox versus Google Chrome. Both work exactly the same. Both are phenomenal, just a little bit of user preference. Next is the application fee, which is $85. If you have a fee waiver, please mark it on the application and send that documentation to us so your application fee can be waived. Please note, we can only accept fee waivers. We cannot give any fee waivers out. Next is your official high school transcript, which must come directly from your high school. And lastly, this, which is very different for this year, is any self-reported test scores. So we will take the SAT or the ACT. We do not have a preference. Please note though, for this 2021 application cycle, we are fully test optional. So you do not have to report any test scores if you do not choose to. Once again, we are fully test optional. It will not hurt your chances if you do not want to submit your test scores. So once again, lastly, we are fully test optional. It is really up to you. We understand some students were not able to take the test, and we understand some students might not be happy with scores they may have taken beforehand. So again, we are fully test optional. As far as when to apply, I'm gonna tell you the first screen is gonna switch a little bit fast. But our first deadline is early action. That early action deadline is November 1st to apply. If you apply early action, you'll hear back from us on January 30th. Our early action deadline is non-binding, so you're not locked into anything. Students who do apply early action will be automatically considered for most merit-based scholarships, can be automatically considered for our Honors and Scholars program, and will receive priority choice in housing, which all of our incoming first-year students must live on campus for at least 1 year. Lastly, if anyone wants to do a studio-based major, such as architecture, graphic design, art and design, or fashion and textiles design, that is the only deadline to apply for the full entire year. Once again, the early action deadline is November 1st. So if we have any people on this call right now who is a senior, I would highly encourage you, please submit your application by November 1st, select early action. It can only help you, it cannot hurt you in any shape or form. If you miss the deadline, the next time to apply is January 15th, and you will hear back from us on March 30th. It's the same as that review process as early action. You just not considered for as many opportunities up front. No matter when you apply and when you are admitted, you will have until May 1st to give us an official yes or no. Between the time that you are admitted and when May 1st comes, you will be able to see all of your financial aid and scholarship information, and you can do your housing application completely free of charge. Applying to college should be like a two-way street. So just like you applied to us and we was able to say, yes, you're a good fit, we want to make sure you can see everything we have to offer to you, so you can make sure we're a good fit for you as well. So again, applying to college should be like a two-way street. We say you're a good fit, so we want to make sure we can show you everything we have to offer for you to make sure we're a good fit for you also. And no matter what, you'll have until May 1st to give us that official yes or no. Going into our actual review process, I can go ahead and tell you we do not have any set minimums. We have what's called a holistic review process, so you basically take everything into consideration. The first thing we're going to look for is your academic achievement, aka your transcript. Grade-wise, we want to see A's and B's with more A's than B's, and you're taking challenging classes in your high school's curriculum, such as honors, AP, IB, or dual enrollment type coursework. Next will be, once again, your highest SAT or ACT test score. For my seniors, I will state it once more, we are completely test optional. It is completely up to you whether or not you want to submit your test scores. Not submitting test scores will not hurt you in any shape or form. And if you submit any test scores, it can only be used as a way to enhance your application. Again, please do not feel pressure to try to go take a SAT or ACT or feel like you must submit your test scores. Just to give you some context, from this past year, I middle 50% for the SAT with a 1270 through a 1410, and for the ACT, a 27 through a 32. We do normally admit 25% of students higher and lower than that test score, and we don't look at the writing section whatsoever. For anyone who may be a junior on this call, just please note we are still evaluating to figure out if we will be test optional or not for the year following. Right now, I hate to say it, we just don't know for sure, but we do know for this year we are fully test optional. Next will be an interest in the program you're applying for. So going back to that first choice and second choice major, since we do admit students directly into that major. You will also see a small short answer response asking you, why did you pick these majors? Just be sure to talk about both your first choice and second choice. There's no right or wrong answer. We just want to make sure you have a true interest in that program. Next is student involvement or extracurricular activities outside the classroom. So it's your clubs or organizations, your sports, jobs, community service, dog walker, babysitter, YouTube creator, Twitch streamer, anything you do outside the classroom. We care more about quality versus quantity. So we'd rather see you doing something for multiple years rather than you doing 1,001 things for 1 year only, and that's it. As far as what to be involved in, it's whatever you choose to, whatever you have a true interest in. If you like it, we love it, and it works completely fine for us. This is stuff you're doing on your own personal time outside the classroom, so we can't tell you what to be involved in. It's whatever you are truly interested in. Next is your background and opportunities. And so we do understand different students have different resources available to them. This is something we can take into consideration. And then lastly, and in my opinion, the most important one is your individual story. So who you are beyond just your academics, who you are outside the classroom. Tell us your story. Let us know your story to college. I can almost promise you, for any students that ever went to college, they can sit there and tell you their story over and over, and you'll notice some similarities, but at the end of the day, everyone's story and journey is a little bit different. And that's what makes you you and makes you unique. So in the application, be sure to tell your story. Give us all the context we need, so we really feel like we know who you are based on your applications. We don't do interviews for admission, so we have to go about the information provided on the application. So really tell your story, give us the context. So when you go through and review it, we really feel like we know who you are. When it comes to writing your essays, one of the best advice I can give yourself is let your personality and your character show. This is the way to express who you are. Again, let us know who you are beyond just your academics. And that can be shown in your student involvement, your program choice within your essays, but tell your story. It's so special, so unique. No matter how big or small you think it is definitely important. Let us know any accomplishments you've had, as well as any kind of obstacles you've overcome. That's all meaningful information to us, and lets us know more overall who you are. So again, if you apply within the early action deadline on November 1st, you will be considered for the most scholarships, most merit-based scholarships. Some of those scholarships you can get a part of. The first one's called the PART Scholarship. This is our most prestigious scholarship here in the university. It's for in-state or out-of-state students. They look for a student involved inside and outside the classroom. To be considered for the PART scholarship, you must apply early action, and by October 1st, either be self-endorse yourself or nominated by your high school. So some kind of nomination process for this one scholarship. The next one is the Goodnight Scholarship. This is for North Carolina residents majoring in STEM or STEM education. The Goodnight Scholarship was founded by Jim Goodnight. He's the founder and CEO of SAS, which is the world's largest data company in the world. The Goodnight Scholarship will cover up to $100,000 for 4 years, which is basically a full ride. To be considered for the Goodnight Scholarship, you must apply early action. Once again, November 1st, and you must be a North Carolina resident doing a major in STEM or STEM education. It is a need-based component to it as well. If you apply early action, you're a North Carolina resident and choose a major within STEM or STEM education, they will send you an email after that November 1st deadline if you're chosen to apply for the scholarship. Next is PAC Assist. That's our very own scholarship portal that you can access once you've been admitted into the university. With PAC Assist, you'll log in, put your name, your major, where you're from, and it'll pull up and link every possible scholarship in NC State and match it up to you based on the information you put in. So there's more ways for you to find more scholarships here on campus once you've been admitted. For more information on scholarships, I would strongly encourage you to visit the websites you see on the screen right here. For our admissions office, we don't have any say-so with scholarships consideration. All these different departments will handle it themselves and be able to answer the most information accurately for you. The last thing that we make sure we remind you of is your FAFSA. So seniors, please do your FAFSA once October 1st comes. Send it to every school you think about applying for. FAFSA is first come, first serve money. It can run out. Please try to do it with your parents as soon as possible once October 1st comes. Parents, you will have to submit your tax information from 2 years ago. Call your prior year taxes. If you need help completing the FAFSA, feel free to visit the link you see right here on the screen or use cfnc.org. They are a great resource and kind of built to help students complete the FAFSA also. The last thing I want to encourage you to before we go into our Q&A is let you know our registration is live for open house. So this year we will have a virtual house format. It will be 5 packed days. So from October 17th to October 21st, each day will be focused on different things. Some days we'll talk about student life. More of the days it'll be more about academics on campus or admissions. So I strongly encourage you, go to the website you see right here, openhouse.ncsu.edu. See more information about it. See our layout for our 5 packed days, and also register for the event. At this point in time, I'm going to kind of open up toward questions. So I've seen people ask questions within the Q&A. We've had Frankie and Ton go in and answer some questions for you. They'll also be able to answer some questions. We can take them live. So ladies, whenever you're ready, I'm happy to answer any questions for y'all.
Great. Thank you so much, Justin. Could you talk a little bit about dual enrollment and how those credits may transfer?
Surely can. So for anything as far as dual enrollment, the best way to see how classes are transferred, if you go to our website, which is admissions.ncsu.edu, hover over top where it says apply, and it'll say credit opportunities. And you guys can look up a transfer course credit database. It'll show you any class we've ever seen and whether or not it transferred over to the university. Roughly speaking, if anyone's taking any kind of early college coursework or dual enrollment classes while they're currently in high school, a lot of them classes that's taken in a North Carolina community college will transfer to us no problem, especially if it's classes built within Associates of Science or Arts. But again, if you go to our website where it says credit opportunities, that's the best way to check it.
Thank you, Justin. This question's asking about how students can change their major after being admitted. Could you talk about like the different times you can change your major, and also if you were to change your major as a current student?
Surely can. So once you've been admitted to the university, you can request a major change if you need to. With the major change, it has to be a request for a major you have not been reviewed for. So let's say we admit you to your second choice major, you can't ask a major change for your first choice major. We've already reviewed you for the majors. Also, when it comes to major change requests, we still go through our same review process and to make sure we still have space within that program as well. Coming on the campus, if you're looking to change your major, you go through what's called a change of degree application, or CODA for short. If you ever want to see how to do it, if you just Google NCSU CODA, it'll pull right up. It's what any student on campus has to do to change their major within the university. It'll show you the classes they want to see, how many credit hours, and the GPA you need to change your major.
Thank you. Could you talk a little bit about some of our dorm room options?
So for our residence halls, we have three main styles to sum it up. So the first one is hall style. That's what normally everyone sees in their movies, or the normal ideal layout of a college. So you have a full hall of people staying, and they share some different bathrooms. For most of our hall style layouts, if you're in the hall style, first and foremost, all the halls within the same gender. So for me, I stayed hall style my freshman year. It was all guys that lived on the first floor, and we had 2 big bathrooms that we shared. The next is suite style. With suite style, you have 8 people sharing 1 bathroom within itself. And then lastly, the one is called hotel style. So hotel style is where you and your roommate have a bathroom connected in your room. And if you ever stayed at a Hampton Inn or a Holiday Inn, it's kind of that normal setup within it. If you want to see a full layout, if you ever go to our housing website, and I wish we could drop the links in the chat box for it, you can get a 360 spin of all of our residence halls here on campus and look at the living and learning communities on campus also.
Thank you. Now, this is a fun question. Could you talk about some unique things that Raleigh has to offer outside of NC State community?
Oh man, honestly, I would say since I've been living here, every year is a little bit different. This past year, I've been more on a trend like with nature. So like Lake Johnson, we have a lot of parks over here. Within Lake Johnson, Lake Raleigh, you can go like paddle boarding and all of that. Our NC State Botanical Garden is technically off campus, even though it's labeled NC State. So that's been my big thing that I've truly enjoyed. The festivals downtown, a lot of the festivals are more cultural based, and so it's phenomenal. One of my favorite ones is the Caribbean one. Also, I love the one around Thanksgiving. So I'm Native American. They do a celebration for that. Also, absolutely love it. And then last is our location. So for me, my family is about an hour and a half away. If I'm looking to go most other major cities here in North Carolina, it's about an hour and a half away. So the location part is always great for me. It's always a short drive. Good question. That's a tough one.
I thought you would like that one.
That was a good one.
Could you share a little bit about veterinary sciences, or for students interested in veterinary medicine, what are some possible major options?
So truly, you really can major in anything you want to. And so going back to that office of pre-professional advising, they're there to help you no matter what. Whether you want to bring in skills directly related to animal science or other soft skills as well. That's kind of the best part about going to a grad school. The most common majors they'll normally see is animal science, zoology, poultry science, or biology. But really, you really can major in anything you want to. Again, one of my older roommates, he personally did biology just so you can learn more about get the hardcore sciences. But that office is called Vet Pack. They're there to help you no matter what your major is and show you the classes you need for it.
Thank you. And this question, could you explain how a student could get a fee waiver if they are looking to get a fee waiver on Common App or Coalition?
Got you. So I won't be the best as far as looking at all the criteria they need for it. But if you're looking to see if you qualify for a fee waiver, I would say first start off with your high school counseling center. Someone within the counseling center should be able to share more information with you. The next, I would say try to reach out to either CFNC or College Board. There are also some really great resources where they can talk to you a little bit more about the criteria of obtaining a fee waiver. As far as if you have one on a Common App, you just have to click I qualify for a fee waiver, and it automatically says like, okay, just send one to us. So it won't require you to pay the app fee.
Thank you. And Justin, I know you touched on the middle 50% of the SAT and ACT. Could you explain what you mean by that and just review those numbers one more time?
Yeah, so the middle 50% is kind of like an average, for example. And last year, the middle 50% was a 1270 to a 1410 for the ACT and a 27 to a 32 for the ACT. And with it being a middle 50% just means you will admit 25% of students higher than that test score and 25% of students lower than that test score. It's just a rough average, rough mean. And within that, we don't look at the writing section whatsoever.
Great. Now this question is asking if a student were to be admitted into their second choice major, for example, would they be in that major forever, or could they have the opportunity to change majors once they're a student?
Got you. So when you come into campus, you have the opportunity to do the CODA process. So every student has the opportunity. Just know that CODA process or switching into a major you want to is not guaranteed. So you could have a slip up with some of your classes, your GPA could drop a little bit. Everyone knows, I can tell you from personal experience, your GPA it's really hard to get high and it's really easy to drop. So it could be something, so it's just not guaranteed. Will it come into your second choice major? And if you select a second choice major, I would say truly make sure it's something that you are interested in and you are happy with no matter what, just in case it doesn't work out. But you can do a CODA process no matter what your major is coming into the campus.
Thank you. And going off of that, I see a bunch of questions about this, so I'll just touch on it. You're not required to put a second choice major, but again, as Justin mentioned, we do admit students directly in the program they apply to. So if you are admitted to communication major, for example, you will not need to apply again later on in your year. So you start in your courses. Justin, could you explain again just a little bit about financial aid as far as us being a best value institution, but also like when they should submit the FAFSA if they're interested in receiving aid?
Cool. So our rankings wise, so top 10 best value among public universities. And one of the other rankings is #1 return on investment among public institutions in North Carolina. Best way to sum it up, coming here just means a good bang for your buck, cost wise, and investment into your education. We're doing the FAFSA. The FAFSA opens up for seniors on October 1st. Our priority deadline for it is February 15th. So somewhere within that window, you want to submit your FAFSA. The money is like first come, first serve. So think about it as a new cell phone coming out or a new video game coming out or new shoes that's releasing. You want to be as close to the front of the line as possible to ensure you're getting as much free money. With the FAFSA, when you submit it, you turn some family background about yourself. So you got to use your family's background, some of their income information, and determine how much need you need. And within your FAFSA, you can be offered grants, which is more free money, and also the option is to accept different loans, which is money you will end up paying back. But the FAFSA, again, is potential for free money. The best way I can say it is, once October 1st come, bag your guardians. Hey, help me submit this. Sit down and help me with it. If you need help, contact our financial aid office. Based on your last name, everyone has a certain advisor that can help them. Use cfnc.org or start with your counseling center. A lot of schools and communities will host FAFSA days to assist students with the FAFSA process. We don't look at FAFSA, so honestly, I can know a little bit about from when I was a student submitting it, but I'm not the expert within it. I just know it's a great opportunity. It's something I definitely took advantage of being a student on campus.
Thank you, Justin. And I know Justin, Ton, and I all have experience in this. Even though we are a STEM school, could you talk about some of the opportunities, maybe like Arts NC State or music, theater, whatever it may be for students that are interested in just liberal arts?
Yeah, so honestly, it's really endless. When you think about the 700 student organizations, being downtown, all them people, whatever you're interested in, it's really easy and simple for yourself. The really cool aspect when you think about it is you're at a STEM institution. So you're taking kind of that STEM background, but still applying it to more soft skills. So you kind of get a well-rounded verse of it and kind of show you how it applies hand to hand. For myself, being a communications major, I focus a lot in media and social media. So a lot of my projects I did was more film production, so film-based. And even within there, I created a project where I talked to people working in different careers and different backgrounds who majored in something more humanities, but also in more than the STEM field. And the STEM workers even say like they love working with people with the humanities and soft skills because they have a little bit easier idea of how to work with people, how to talk to people. So it kind of shows you how it goes hand in hand with it. With Arts NC State, so we have a performing arts theater on campus. We have our own grad museum as well as showcase different arts pieces. We have our own music department, power band, and the Southwood marching bands. So some still same opportunities. We're just known based on our STEM-based majors.
Great answer, Justin. Thank you. I'll give you a little breather. I do see a lot. Does NC State have a medical program? But as Justin mentioned, we do not have a medical school, but we do have many great STEM programs like our life sciences majors and majors within our College of Agricultural and Life Sciences and the College of Sciences that many students that are interested in like a pre-health track may pursue. And then we have pre-professional advising programs that can help you stay competitive for these programs after you apply to NC State. We also tomorrow, if you're interested, have a panel for students that are interested in health professions. We have a polymer and color chemistry major within our College of Textiles that will have 2 alumni from NC State sharing about their experiences in medical school and pharmacy school now. So if you're interested, you can head to our website. That panel is tomorrow at 3:30. We are getting some questions about minors. As I think Justin mentioned, you will not apply for a minor on the application, but you will be able to, once you're admitted, you can talk to your academic advisor about adding a minor if you are interested. And you are able to pursue a minor outside of your college. It will just mean you'll just have to talk to your advisor. You might have to work with another advisor to see how your courses will add up. Let's see. We have some questions about, could you talk about the connections between professors and students, like office hours, or just resources for students to connect and form that relationship?
Definitely. So professors wise, one of the first few engagements you'll see can be two of the ways. So some of the professors that actually, they'll be your academic advisor as well within your major. So you might interact with them a little bit during orientation, coming in, planning your coursework. The next big thing I would say is during that first week of classes. So we can contest, we still see it to this day. So especially the first day of classes on campus, you'll notice after class, students go up and talk to the professor. And it can just be say, hey, I'm looking forward to your class, or just wait for them to introduce themselves. So they won't feel like it's just a number situation, just to know more about them as well. All professors on campus has to offer office hours at least once per week. And in their syllabus, they will tell you what times they will be there. During the office hours just means they have to be at their desk with a door open to accept students at any point in time. And all of my professors also told me, hey, this is my office hours. If you need to meet outside that time, just email me. And I've met with a couple of my professors. They were always super open to it. Very easy to get in contact with them. They love talking to students overall. Lastly would be our academic success center. So our tutorial center, you can do one-on-one tutoring or have group tutoring, especially for a lot of our entry-level classes such as biology, chemistry, and Calc 1. And then we also have a university tutorial writing center. So if you have any writing samples you must submit, you can go there and get feedback on your writing assignments also.
Thanks, Justin. I'm going to give you a breather again. There are a lot of questions as far as the materials deadline for NC State, but also submitting test scores. Again, as Justin mentioned, we are test optional. So on the application, you'll have the option to select whether or not you want to submit test scores to be considered. And our materials deadline is 2 weeks after the application deadline. So for November 1st, that means November 15th. So all of your materials need to be in by November 15th to have your application reviewed. So make sure everything's in there by then. After you submit your application, about 2 weeks later, you'll get what's called your Wolfpaw portal. And that's where if you decide that maybe now you want to submit scores or now you don't want to submit scores, you can do that through your Wolfpaw portal. Again, you do not have to submit test scores to be eligible for financial aid or scholarships. This year's test scores will only be used to enhance your application. So you won't be disadvantaged if you do not submit test scores. Let's see, touched on a bunch of those. Justin, could you talk about why you chose NC State?
Yes, two main reasons. So the first one was actually I attended an admitted students day. Me and one of my good friends in high school came to campus for it. And honestly, when I stepped foot on campus, it just felt like this is where I belonged at. Like, it just felt at home. It was a very at ease feeling compared to when the other schools, I just didn't like the vibe too much. And so, like, when I stepped foot on campus, that first event I went to, it just made it come full circle. I'm like, this feels good. Like, it's a really big school, but it doesn't feel big. Everyone is super nice. Everyone is super friendly. It just felt like, that something that's hidden inside of me, internal thing to say, like, this is it. The next key thing was honestly cost-wise. So I was super blessed to get a really good financial aid package and have outside scholarships to assist me. So through a lot of different ways, I was able to get a full ride to the university. So it made a really big deal for me. It helped me out a whole lot. Just for myself, I was a first generation college student, came from a low income background. So I really didn't have the funds to pay for college. So what NC State offered me was a really big blessing for me and kind of solidified, like, I definitely want to go here. But the vibe on campus, I couldn't beat that, how I felt there compared to any other college tours or college campuses I was able to go to.
Thank you, Justin. And if we didn't get to your question, we will definitely be following up with you. But also, before we finish, I would like to, again, encourage you to register for our virtual open house. It's 5 packed days from October 17th to the 21st. And also, we have a lot of questions just about panels and different ways to connect with students. If you head to our admissions website at Schedule a Visit, we have a lot of panels coming up, a lot of ways to hear from the academic colleges, learn more about animal science or pre-vet programs, whatever it may may be. So definitely that's a great way to connect with us. And also, if you have any questions, you can always email our office at undergrad-admissions@ncsu.edu.
There's our contact information. Follow us, see from a student's background, do a virtual tour. College specific information is right there as well. Thank y'all so much for attending today. We really do appreciate it. Again, like Frankie said, feel free to reach out to us if you need be. We're always here at NSU Perform. I would definitely encourage you to follow us on social media. It shows you a real life student's perspective with our ambassadors and interns here on campus. So a really great time and experience.
All right. Thank you for joining us this evening for this session. Once you close your window, we ask that you complete a quick 4-question survey that will benefit both CACRAO and StriveScan in terms of feedback. Sign up for more sessions that may be of interest to you at cacrao.org. And as mentioned, a recording will be made available shortly after the session has concluded, and this item can be found on CACRAO's website. Take care and have a wonderful night.